Hello, Stampin' friends. I got this video all ready to go and realized that I didn't have my earbuds on, so I think I've got it now. Hello, hello. Welcome to my Wednesday evening tutorial, and yes, I'm coming to you from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. This is Stamp Ventures with Shauna, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and just trying to get linked up with the iPad. Okay, I think I've got it here. There we go. Yeah, all right. Yeah, there we are. Found it, and I hopefully will be able to see some of the questions and comments coming through. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I am going to show you just a few ideas that are pretty easy, and you would be able to use them to decorate your table for Christmas. And just before I get started with those ideas, there are a couple of announcements and things that I'll share with you. First of all, the funny for tonight. What this girl needs is a drum solo. I can't remember who posted that on Facebook today, but I just loved it. So I thought, oh, that's a good one, because we're starting now into the Christmas season. We've already had our first Sunday of Advent. So yeah, I really need to kick it up, kick it in gear, move it up a notch, and get things going for my Christmas plans and all the Christmas organization that needs to be done. So yes, I am going to be using some chocolate in the treat packaging that I share with you today, and I grabbed this because I just picked this up the other day at our Safeway grocery store. I've had this tea for a couple Christmases now. It's called Christmas in Paris, and it's quite nice. I'm not a fan of a lot of florally, fruity herbal teas, but this one is lovely. It's kind of got a slightly chocolatey flavor paired with lavender and cool mint. There's a bit of a mint to it. So I enjoy this one, and it's a good one that I know I can drink in the evening and it won't keep me awake. Now, underneath here, the plate. I made this announcement earlier on Facebook, and I posted information on it on my blog as well. But in December, I can't believe where the time has gone. In December, I am going to be celebrating my 19th Stampiversary, the 19 years ago that I signed up as a demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And so I was trying to think of what I could do kind of to celebrate it and create a bit of a promotion. So I decided to pick 19 different gifts from the annual catalog. And if you're shopping with me between December 1st and to the 19th, and you use the host code with your online order and order $50 or more before shipping and taxes of product, you will get to choose one of these 19 gifts. And so I'll quickly show you pictures of them. Some of the pictures are not going to show up quite as well as others. This is a package of clear envelopes, so it's really hard to see, but there's some ombre gift bags, some gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper, that's 6 by 6 inches in that pack. There's some rhinestone gems, some gold elegant faceted gems, the paper lace pack, lattice pack, an expressions in ink ephemera pack. Some of the other choices are square vellum doilies, a bone folder, some opal rounds, kind of hard to see the iridescence in those, some basic pearl jewels, some pastel pearls, red rhinestone jewels, champagne rhinestone jewels, and holiday rhinestone jewels, and to finish off, pretty flowers embossing folder, the animal print embossing folder, small grid pack of paper. That's the size that fits into the Stamparatus, and I often use it when I'm doing my videos because it's just a nice little piece that fits into my screen. And then the Stamparatus Deluxe foam mat. So it's a foam mat, it's foam underneath, but it's got a smooth surface for stamping on, and it works really well for when you're stamping when you're stamping with the photopolymer stamps. So keep that in mind. If there's anything that you want to shop for, $50 is when you'll be able to start choosing one of these gifts. And there are some really good deals right now on the Stampin' Up! Website. They refreshed the clearance rack today with some really awesome product. I don't know how much is left. A lot of the popular things fly off the shelves right away, but when I looked around mid-afternoon, there were still some very, very nice items available. And then also the things that are retiring from the holiday catalog, that's the June through July through December catalog, they're only while supplies last, and there were a few sets of dies that were 50% off. And again, some of those may already be gone, and some of the popular papers like the Whimsy and Wonder, the Cabin, Peaceful Cabin, those have already disappeared. Yeah, take a look, because there really are some good savings on there right now. One other thing I'll just mention quickly in my announcements, and then we'll get started with the table ideas, is that there is a suite of products that's available early for customers, and it's like a sort of a customer pre-order from the January through June catalog that's going to be starting in the new year. And the suite of products is called Eden's Garden. You've probably seen some ideas already popping up in your Facebook feed. The demonstrators got to pre-order this early. Included in this suite, well, you don't have to get the full suite. You can get pieces separately a la carte. There's the Eden Garden Cling stamp set, and it is a distinctive stamp set. So there's a lot of shading and light and dark tones in it, and some lovely sayings as well. Just thinking, you probably can't see the words very well. Dear friend, how are you? Let's celebrate everything. My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. Sending hugs and hello there. And then if you like, there are dies that complement or coordinate with it. And then there's 3 other items here, and these items are only available while supplies last. They're actually not even going to be in the upcoming mini catalog. There's specialty designer paper. It's got lots of greens and has gold foil in it as well. Then there's the Ever Eden cotton paper. It's very, very soft, almost like a tissue paper. And then there's beautiful gems. This one gem is almost like got a leaf shape to it. And again, the gems, the cotton paper, and the designer series paper are only available while supplies last. They will not be coming out in the January through June mini catalog, which will start in the new year. So you can get them a la carte, or you can get the whole Eden's Garden collection. If you need more information on that, just give me a shout. So usually I do my videos on Tuesday night. Last night was the last Tuesday of the month, and it was supposed to be book club, but there was a little bit of a change. We had to pivot, and so book club's going to end up being tomorrow night, and it's going to be right here at this dining room table where I'm working. And you can see I've folded up some napkins with some treats, and that's kind of what inspired me to do this video tonight of showing table favors and table setting ideas. And the book that we're going to be discussing tomorrow is called Anxious People. A couple months ago, my book club read another book by Frederick Bachman called A Man Called Ove, and I gave it like a 2 thumbs up, a really good review. And so I was interested to see what this second book that I've read by him would be like. He's written quite a few different books, and he does write, I think he's Swedish, so it has been translated to English, and this book is fantastic. I'd say it's even better than the book that we read previously. Whoever does the translation for him is an amazing translator, because there is so much humor and subtleties in the writing, and they captured it really, really well. And I highly recommend Frederick Bachman as an author, and I highly recommend Anxious People. And so I'm looking forward to chatting with my book club friends tomorrow night about it. The ones that have mentioned it to me, that I've talked to, they've said that they enjoyed the book as well. So if you're looking to get yourself into a book and escape and enjoy, and there's a little bit of a character study and different things in here that kind of what makes people tick. Plus there's a bit of a mystery to it too. I could hardly put it down. I'd probably finish this book as quick as any of the books that I've read recently. You might want to check this out, or maybe ask Santa to bring it to you for Christmas. So, okay, so we're going to get started. And today, first off, I'm going to be showing you some little treat packages that could work at your Christmas table. And I'm going to start with the fastest treat packages first, and then I'll go to ones that take a little bit more time, but really aren't still that very difficult. And for all of the treat packages that I show you, we're going to be working with 6x6 designer paper. So I would have just taken a 12x12 sheet, cut it in half and cut it in half again. And I'm basically able to show you 4 different kinds of treat packaging with one sheet of paper. And the paper that I'm using tonight is from the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paperback. And I'm guessing that this is probably still available. It is discontinuing, but it was available last Christmas as well. And for some reason, like I stocked up on like, I don't know, 3 packages of it. I have a ton of it. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't end up using as much of it as I thought I would, but it's beautiful. It's cheery. It's got the traditional red and green Christmas colors and some cute patterns like the gingham and the stripes and some polka dots. And so I'm going to demonstrate projects today using that paper, but you could use any DSP that coordinates with your color scheme. After I had done my treat packages with the Heartwarming Hugs, I realized that with my dishes being silver, some of the peaceful cabin paper would have been really cool too. And we'll talk more about that later. So, okay. So the first treat holder that I'm going to show you is just this one that probably some of you have done before. Some people call it the Diaper Fold, and here I've just done it with napkins that happen to have kind of the grays and the purples, similar to my dining set. And in case you're wondering, like sometimes people are interested in what the patterns are. My pattern for mine is Sweet Leilani by Noritake. And when I got married, my mom, said, okay. Or when I was going to get married, my mom said, okay, you have to pick out a pattern for your dishes, for your special dishes. So I did. Okay, so with the napkin, and it's the same thing with the paper too, just fold it in half diagonally. And then you take one corner and you want to fold it so that it's horizontal. When I first tried to make this, it had been a while since I made these kinds of treat packages, I folded it down like that, and it doesn't work as well that way. You want to fold it across so that this goes horizontally like that. It might not reach the corner. In fact, it probably will be more centered if it doesn't quite touch the corner. And then you want to do the same with the other corner of the triangle. And then, you know how you folded that in half, you take the one that you folded up and you fold it back, give it a crease, and there you've got your little pouch to put your treats in. The only thing I find with the napkins is that they do want to pop apart. And the way I was able to keep them from popping apart was stuffing them with chocolate. I've got some of those Lindt chocolate balls there. It still wants to pop up a little bit. But here, I'll show you with the designer series paper and you'll get a better idea. It will stay a little bit, stay together a little bit better. So with the heartwarming hugs, I'm just going across. It's probably easier to see how the pattern works too with the designer series paper because one side is different from the other side. Okay, I just realized, so here I am, I'm working on this plate. I'm gonna have to remember to wash this before the book club ladies come over for dinner tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm pulling this across. Doesn't matter which one you do first, left or right, either works. And I want it to go straight, horizontal there. And now, if I had a bone folder handy, I could even give that a good crease with the bone folder. That would help it even more. And then this one, fold across the other way and make that horizontal across the top. And yeah, that looks to be about the same on both sides. And it does want to pop up a little bit like this, but we're not finished. We have this last piece here, that the one that you folded up to begin with, you're going to fold this back down. And then there you can give a really good crease. And I suppose if you were worried and you didn't like that that might be popping up, you could take and put a little glue dot there too. But I find once I put the chocolates in, or whatever it is that you're going to put into your treat holders, that seems to hold it down. So yeah, no gluing, hardly any cutting other than just making sure you start with a 6x6 piece of designer paper. And those would be sweet. Just set out on the table, on everybody's place around the table. And if you wanted, you could, you know, get a little tag and say, stick it down with a dimensional, something quick like that, so that they know that that's their spot. Or with this one that I made earlier, I just die cut out a little poinsettia and put whatever rhinestone jewels in the middle. The poinsettia die that I use, is just these little ones, comes from the Pretty Pillow Box dies, and you can cut 4 of them at a time. I just cut one out of real red there and just added a nice little touch to that. So there's idea number 1. And yeah, you know, if you squeeze them in there, you can get 2 of the lint balls in one package. You just have to just pop it out a little bit more. And I mentioned the stash tea earlier, the Christmas in Paris. I think that fits quite nicely into the this kind of a pouch too. It doesn't tuck down right to the bottom because it's a little bit wider at the bottom than the pouch is, but there we go. That's a nice way to work it for your table. Okay, so pouch idea number 1, treat idea number 1 is done, and we'll go on to treat idea number 2. So again, we're starting with 6x6 paper, and I imagine many of you have seen this idea before too, but it's always good to remember some of these ideas that have been tried and true and have, you know, just stuck around for a while. You're going to want to use a really heavy duty, strong tape. So I'm using our double-sided tear tape, because these will want to pop apart if you don't use the tear tape. You don't necessarily have to use 6x6 paper for this particular treat package. You can use 5.5 by 4 1/4. You could use 12 by 12. You could use 8 by 8. Yeah, lots of different sizes work. The bigger your paper, the more you'll be able to, more chocolate you'll be able to fit into it. So 3 sides, that's what you want to remember, is you want to put the adhesive, the strong adhesive on 3 sides. And then I'm going to adhere this one side that doesn't have a match to the other side. That's the one I'm going to adhere first. Some of people call this a Twisty Pouch. Some people call it a sour cream container. And this is how it goes together. And this is pretty fast too. It takes more tape than the first package that I showed you, but it's still pretty quick. Okay. Oh, I like this paper because I can see if I'm lining up that that edge there with the other pattern fairly straight. I wasn't quite on it, but I was pretty close. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and just use take your pick tool to move the backing of the tear and tape paper there. And I'm going to take and squeeze this together to create a package that looks like this. So it was originally looked like a cylinder, fancy toilet paper tube, and now I've got this little pouch. And when we did these way back in the day, like 19 years ago, we used to slip this edge partway through a crimper, just a little bit into a crimper, and so it had that look of like the crimped potato chip bag at the end of it. And we don't have a crimper anymore, but you probably could. Oh, you know what? I've got it right here. If you wanted to get a crimped look, you could just grab this is our Simply Scored tool, and let's see, I jumped the line a little bit there. I could kind of give it a little bit of a crimped look by scoring at the bottom of it. Every time I hit where the two pieces of DSP overlap, my stylus wants to jump a little. So yeah, it's not as effective. The crimper was way more effective in getting that rippled potato chip bag look. But okay, so what can we fit in here? All I'm working with today are Lindt chocolate balls. Anybody else out there who are fans of Lindt chocolate? I especially like the dark chocolate, but then these are the sea salt ones too. They are so good. Give me a shout. Give me a hands up if you're into the Lindt chocolate. Hey to Emmy and to Brenda. Hi, Brenda. And Jean, hello. And a few others who have hopped on. Glenda and Dawn, I think I see you there too. Thanks for joining in. So 1, 2, okay, let's see. Can I fit a third one? Whew, I think I can. I think I can just stuff it down there. I'm going to take this one out. I don't know. Well, if you're not averse to crinkling your stash tea package, you probably could fit a stash tea package in there too. Sure, you could. So it depends on if that bothers you or not. If you don't want it to be crinkled for the person who receives it, then don't put it in there. Find other things that'll fit. But there we go. 3 Lindt chocolate balls. We've loaded it up. Now, I'm going to go in and remove this other layer of the tear and tape. And this time, instead of sticking the end together parallel with the bottom, I'm going to do it perpendicular to the bottom. So take and crunch it flat like that. So this one is going this way and this one is going this way. There's a bit of a 3D thing going on with this sour cream or this Twisty Pouch. The fun thing about these is that they have no idea what's in here. And they also look at it and go, how did they do this? So that's if you have people who, you want to give them a little bit of a mystery and try and figure out how this was done. These are great packages. Another fun thing to put into these packages besides chocolate, if it's kids, you could put a few coins in there so that when they shake it, it jingles. Or for adults, if you get, just the little craft jingle bells that you can get around this time of year, put a jingle bell or two in there so that will ring as well. And so, yeah, that just makes a lot of fun that way. And now, where's my plate? I set my plate here. Okay, so you can set this treat pouch like this on the plate if you want. You could punch out a tag like from this elegant tag punch and have their name on it, so they know that's their place setting. Suppose you could put it just across the top of your plate here too, like that. The other thing that I thought of, just kind of at the last few minutes here, while I was getting ready for the video, you could also take a handheld punch, just like a 1/4 inch or whatever you have, and punch a hole in it. And then you can string them and hang them from the Christmas tree. I like that idea too. So they're not only you know, treat holder, but they could be a little decoration on your tree too. And anything that you can fit in there is, you know, fair game for a little surprise. So yeah, hanging them from the tree is another option. And like I said, yeah, they can have the name for where the people are sitting at your table too. So that's idea number 2. So two ideas so far using 6x6 designer series paper. I'm going to go on to idea number 3 and 4. And for idea number 3 and 4, I'm still using 6x6 paper, but this one takes just a little bit longer to make. It also requires some scoring of the 6x6 paper. And I already pre-scored mine, and I scored it on the less patterned side because this side is so much more patterned. It's harder for me to see the lines. And you can use a scoring tool that's part of a trimmer, but I tend to like my Simply Scored tool because I don't have to keep moving my paper. I just butt it up into the corner, and then I use the stylus and I score it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5 inches. Then there's this last little inch, and that's going to be the part that gets folded under, and that's where the adhesive is going to go. Then I take and I turn my 6x6 paper sideways like this, and I score again at 1 1/4 at that end, and I turn it once more so that I can score 1 1/4 again at the other end. And then I'm ready to go to make the next 2 treat packages. If you want to grab a screenshot of this, do it right now while you can, so that you remember how to, or what the measurements are for these next 2 packages. They're very similar to one another. And well, in fact, I'll show them to you, and then you can see. I'll make one of them, but you'll see how they work, because once you see how the one works, you'll know how to do the other one too, pretty much. So I'll move my plate out of the way, and so the first one here is a package that it stands up like this. It's a tall package, and definitely fits one of our Lind chocolate balls in it. It would also fit like lip balms and other tall things like that. And the other package is almost exactly like it, except that it lays on its side and it looks like a Christmas cracker. So here's how I did this. I'm going to take and I'm going to fold all the places where I scored. Actually, you know what? I want it so that the more busy pattern is on the outside. It's just, well, depending on what your table is like, you could go for the deeper green too. It's whatever look that you want to get with your treats and with your tablescape. Okay, so I'm going to, I should grab a pencil. And I'm going to, where these 4 intersections are, I'm just marking them with a pencil. Makes it a little bit easier for me to see, because I'm going to be punching those. And the punch I'm using is Stampin' Up's Tailored Tag Punch. It's got this V shape at the end, and that's all I'm going to use is the V shape. So I'm going to fold at the first fold, and there's my little mark. I'm going to line up the point of that V with the line that I've scored. But I'm only going to put the punch in part ways. And I don't know how well you can see this, but I've taken and marked here, which is, well, it's not all, it's maybe just a little bit more than halfway down the punch. I marked that just with some Sharpie marker, and that's about as far as I'm going to move my punch in. So where's my mark? I can just see my little tick mark there. And that's about in line. It doesn't have to be exact because nobody's going to see it perfectly anyways once it's all done up. I kind of line it up kind of sort of with the Sharpie mark there. So I'm just taking a little bit off. It works to punch the designer paper with the punch 2 layers thick. If you're using cardstock, you might be able to punch it if it's a thin cardstock. If it's a thicker cardstock, you might find it a little tricky. But the designer paper works really well. It punches easily when it's 2 layers thick. Okay, so now I've opened up this fold, and I'm going to go to the next fold because I only want to do 2 layers at a time. I don't want to keep folding it and do 3, 4, 5. I just want to punch 2 layers at a time. So I'm going to fold it at the next fold. And there's my little mark. I'm going to feed my punch up like that, line it up with the black Sharpie mark, and punch it. And there's that 3D portion of tonight's video. Okay, so there we've got 2 diamonds. Again, I unfold it. Now I'm going to go to the next fold. And just got 2 layers there. Ooh, having trouble seeing. I think that's my pencil mark right there. Yeah, it is. I'm going to feed the point of the punch in, look to see if it's lined up somewhat. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's really popping tonight. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, they're not exact. I think that one might have been a little bit bigger, but in the end, in the scheme of things, it's going to be okay. And here's number 4. Do the line up with a point, line up with the Sharpie. There we go. Now I need to do one more punch, and that's just a half punch right here. So I'm going to nick just to there, little pencil mark there. And I'm not going to be going through 2 layers because there's nothing to fold. It's just the edge of the paper. I don't need to do one here because this is only the little 1-inch piece that is going to be where we're going to be gluing along the edge. This is the full 1 1/4 inch edge here. Okay, so like that. Okay. Now, if I was making the Christmas cracker, I would do exactly the same thing here on the other side of my paper. So you can turn it like sideways like this. I punched here, 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 and here, and a little bit, there's my pencil, and a little bit right here with my tailored tag punch. If I was doing the Christmas cracker, I would do exactly the same thing here on the other side. So they would be identical. There'd be another partial diamond, and then it'd be full diamond, full diamond, full diamond, full diamond, and folding it and just doing 2 layers at a time. So that's for the Christmas cracker. But I'm going to show you how to do this little box, and then you'll know how to do both of them. So for this box, for the bottom of it, you need to grab some scissors, and you're going to clip each of the score lines all the way to the 1 1/4 inch mark. Just like that. Now this is the one that's only 1 inch long, and it's not as big as the others. I'm going to cut this one right off. And in fact, I'm going to even take a little bit of an angle off that way there. And now I'm ready to put my box together. So this is the one that has the 1 inch wide, and it's going to get tucked under. So I can put my tear and tape right there. Whoa, I think I might be going off the screen a little. Okay, so I'm going to put it at the edge here, just like that. And I'm only going as far as, well, basically I'm only going as far as the end of the diamonds. Okay, can I get this peeling off? Oh, I think I'm taking the tape with it. Let's try again. The pokey tool is the best. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down. I just realized something. You know what? It's okay to put the tape there, but I really wanted to put the tape there. So this is going to be double taped, and it's going to be taped really well. It's going to be, it'll be a little bit more sturdier if I put the tape here. That first bit of tape that I put down is optional. This one, you for sure want to have it by the folded edge. Didn't realize that until I went to put it together. Yeah. Okay, so now I can just lay this other piece down. And so it's like a folded flat box, and then it pops up, and there's the box part. And you can see this is where I snipped those end flaps. I guess I should have creased them first just to get them folded, but they should be good now. I like to do my boxes like this. 2 flaps opposite to one another. So one, and then the opposite one, and then this one and the opposite one to that. And now I'm just going to go and add a little bit more tear and tape there. And oh, it looks like I've got more than I need. I'm going to put some at the top and some at the bottom and call it good. I personally don't think that you need to have adhesive on every layer of the box bottom, but if you want to, you could probably add more layers of adhesive. I find this is pretty good for what I'm using it for. And to be honest, when people come and get their treats from your table, they take the treats home or eat them or whatever, the box is generally going to end up being recycled in the end. So you don't want to spend too much time on these boxes. You want to be able to spend more time enjoying the dinner with your family. Okay. Oh my goodness. That kind of gobbed up and rolled up, but oh well. Okay, here we go. Box, bottom, shut tight. So now I've got a nice tall box, and I can load it up with more Lindt chocolate. I think 2 is what I'm going to go for with this one. I'm not going to try and get any more in there. I think two's going to be good. I've grabbed some of the glittered organdy ribbon, and it's in the mini catalog, but I think it's going to be coming back perhaps next Christmas, either next Christmas or in the next annual catalog. So it's going to be around still, which makes me kind of happy. I'm going to just chop off a good long bit of it so that I have enough to tie a bow with. How long would that be? Probably about a foot. Let's see, I can measure on my Simply Scored tool. Yeah, it's like 12 and a half inches, something like that. So here's how you do the Christmas cracker end. There's a little bit here where it overlaps. That part, I'm just going to put the overlapping part where the 2 layers of the box kind of get glued together in the middle there. I'm going to put that on the table, and I'm going to take and I'm going to push in the ends here and here, and I'm going to create, what would I call that? Just a little folded milk carton kind of thing going on there. Yeah, that's, the milk carton thingy, right? And the other thing you can do, if you want to make it so it doesn't get too crunched and crinkled in there, you can take and you can kind of push it a little bit. There we go. There. And then you'll be able to just wrap your wrap your ribbon around it. I give it a little bit of a push. If the ribbon is moving around on you, you can grab a glue dot. I love this idea. I've been using this idea more and more now. You can grab a glue dot and tuck it under the first half knot of your bow, so then it won't slide around as much on you. And then go in and finish the bow. Do the bunny ears. Okay, whoop. Let's try this again. Some days the bows work better than others. There we go. And yeah, trim the ends if you want. Like I said, you could put a tag on it so that you know who sits at that place at the table. Let's trim this off a little bit more. So yeah, choices. So this is number 3 and number 4, a Christmas cracker package or like a Christmas cracker box. And what you can do too, what I did with this top part of this box is after I wrapped it up with the ribbon, I just went back and I opened it up a little bit to kind of flare it out, make it a little bit more interesting. I might have tied it tighter than I needed to as well, but yeah, that just kind of made it look a little bit more poofy on top. Okay, so boxes number 3 and 4. Now I have a couple last things that I was going to show you. When you're setting your table, sometimes it's nice to have something to tuck your napkins into. So I'll show you how I did this, and if you want, you could slide some of your silverware into there too. This I didn't glue down because I was just thinking about whether I wanted to glue it there or not. But to get this shape, I used our Pretty Pillow Box dies. These are the Stampin' Up! Pillow Box dies that are in the current mini catalog, and they are going to continue forward. They're not being discontinued, so they'll still be available. And I was so happy to see that the Pillow Box die actually fits right in that 6x6 piece of designer paper, or the 6x6 size. So then I just folded it where the scored lines are. And normally when you're making these, you know, you pop it out and you pop the ends in and you have a cute puffy pillow box. But we're not going for a puffy box with this one because we want it a little bit flatter to be able to put the table napkin in there. So I'm just going to glue it down flat. Oh, okay. I may have put my glue a little bit too close to the edge there. I'm going to pull that back a little. I don't know if you've ever done this, but it works. You just pull the glue back so that it's not where you want it. There we go. Bonus tip. Okay, see, I don't want to glue it down flat there. I want this to be able to pop open a little, just like that. And we've got, let's see, I think this is a 6-inch napkin. I can compare it to my 6-inch piece here. Yeah, pretty much 6-inch. And I just took and folded mine in half twice. So 1, 2. But if you happen to be someone who's, you know, good at folding things, you might have an even fancier fold that you can do. And so then I just pop this open and slide the napkin in. And I decided that it would look really nice if it had some of the ribbon wrapped around it. So I'll grab another approximately, I don't know, 12 inches or so of the glittered organdy ribbon. And I'm not going to worry about using a glue dot to hold the bow this time. And I might want to have a little bit of extra space in there anyways, because then you could slide in a fork fork and knife, whatever you decide you want to put into it. There's a little bit of give in there to slide something in there. I think, let's see, where are my knives? Here we go. I think that you could slide a knife in there too. I don't know if you'd be able to slide, well, let's see, maybe the spoon would fit too. What the heck? Give it a try. Yeah, you probably could. You could slide all three in there if you wanted to. Yeah, something like that. And so for this one, this tag that I've cut out here, it was die cut from the same set of Stampin' Up! Dies. It's this one right here. It's also got a nice little tag here and this long label too. So there's a few different options with that set of dies. And I was thinking that, well, I could tuck it under and I could write the person's name who would be sitting at that spot at the table, just down at the bottom. So I'm going to put it at an angle. I'll write my mom's name there, Willa. So it could sit beside the plate. Let's see, got to pull the plate back in. Here we go. There, it could sit beside the plate if you've got room, or if you've got craft supplies all around, then it's not going to sit very well beside the plate. So it could go that way, or it could go up at the top like that. There's a few different options, but I'm going to pull it all together here now. And there's one last bonus idea, and I might have to bring my camera up a little bit for it. Just going to adjust the camera slightly so that it rises up and you have just a bit of a bigger picture of the table setting. Okay, hold on, camera. There we go. One of these days I'll get a better camera and be able to do all the fancy things that I've got another piece of that Heartwarming Hugs paper. You can take and set that underneath as a placemat. So if you have two papers of the same design in one package of designer paper package, you can use one as your placemat, and then you can, with the other one, you can create a holder for your utensils, and you can create all kinds of boxes to hold treats and to put name tags on. And if it kind of bugs you that, well, your paper might get messed up when you're eating your dinner, it might get food and stained and whatnot on it. I did have two other thoughts on that. You possibly could grab a 12 by 12 page protector that's, for a scrapbook, and you could slide this into the 12 by 12 page protector, cut off where the rings or the straps slide through into your scrapbook, and then your paper is protected that way while you're eating the meal. Or the other thing is you could take and get it laminated too. I myself like the look of just the real raw paper. I think it looks beautiful. And like I said, each package of our 12 by 12 papers have two of each different design. So one person could have the gingham place setting with all the gingham treat packages and accessories. One person could have this, I want to call it cloverleaf. There's another name for that, and I can't think of it. They could have that design. And then another person could have the stripes design, and so on and so forth. So look at your Christmas paper that's out there. Do you have some that you're not using? Think about how you might be able to use it on your table this Christmas, and don't hoard it anymore. Get it out there, love it and enjoy it. I mentioned earlier that there are some packages of paper, or not some packages, some patterns of paper that you maybe don't use as much as others. The trees I used a lot from the cabin peaceful cabin paper, but I didn't tend to use this bark as much. So I thought, oh, that would look really nice. I could grab all the bark pieces out to decorate my Christmas table. And then another idea that I saw and I got from a demonstrator in the States, Janet Wakeland, she set her table for it was for the US Thanksgiving, and she used the beautiful Eden's Garden specialty paper. So she had all these beautiful greens and gold foil, and then she set clear plates and clear bowls on top, so you could see some of the shimmery and color coming through. And thank you to Judy, my friend Judy, who I have to return this plate to her. I don't have clear plates myself, and this one isn't perfectly clear. It's got the mold of like a leaf pattern on there, but it gives you the idea of how you could see those designs and patterns if you happen to have clear plates for your dinner table. So that's what I have to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed the ideas and it's inspired you to try some things that you might be able to do to decorate your Christmas table, to use up some of those pretty papers that you've been holding on to. And if you have any questions, please do give me a shout. And if you'd like more information about the product, you can contact me at Stamp Ventures with Shauna. And thanks so much for stopping by, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you another time. Bye for now.